Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second series of the night for Minor League Esports, presented by APM Music. I am still Lychee, and sliding in to the right side of me will very shortly be still one of my best friends in the entire world, Fallen. Have you taken enough of a break since last series to recover and prepare yourself for the next one?
Sorry, I just watched the free Sleek vid now on the YouTube channel, and I've got my finger guns out just in case. It was a beautiful video, but if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's on the YouTube. It's up now. It's 4.5 minutes of pure bliss with an end credit scene. Who'd have thought it? But yeah, I feel refreshed, I feel replenished, and I feel ready to talk about a Champion League matchup that we've got right now. The Aviators and the Ducks going at it in a twos match. It feels like there's a lot to play for in this one.
Okay, so let's talk about their standings, because there is a lot to play for, especially given the context that these two teams find themselves, both within the conference and the division. They're both within the Sky Division in the Blue Conference. Aviators are third in the division. Ducks are fourth in the division. In the conference, out of 16 teams, Aviators are 15th and Ducks are 16th. So it is very much a battle at the bottom. However, we have some numbers, as always, to talk about, because they have an identical record, right? They're both 2-8. 2 games won, 8 games lost. However, Fallen, and I know you're going to dig into this in a second, Aviators are 2-8 in 15th place with a goal difference of -4. The Ducks are 16th in the conference, 2-8 record, with a goal difference of -25. Fallen, please shed some light on that.
The Hawks.
That's it.
And that is all we have to say about that. No, to give you a better summary, week 1, the Aviators took on I believe, the Hive in a actual close series, 3-2 for the Hive. Aviators looked really strong. They had a really bad doubleheader, though, against the Hurricanes, who swept them in convincing fashion. I believe Game 3 was a 9-6 in favor of the Hurricanes, but for the most part, close games all around in both series. As we get ready for game number 1, I'll just talk and drive. It's going to be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. In terms of the Ducks didn't have that easy a run, though. One big, and I mean big, sweep at the hands of the Hawks, where one game ended 7-0. That was one game with a total of, I believe, nearly 30 goals going in against them. Ugh. They somehow managed to get 10. Fair play. And they found themselves with one almost immediately. Flaming Truck will put that one home, and the Ducks have a good lead here in game number 1, but the Aviators will look to capitalize immediately, if not put that one in the back of the net.
Rosters, ladies and gentlemen, Flaming Truck and Elite Inferno for the Ducks in their away color of yellow, and Aviators going with the alternate jerseys today, Hollow and Risque, who Risque made it a point to mention it was his very first series. So welcome to the minor league, welcome to the MLE. Hope you enjoy it, and best of luck, because it won't be easy, my friends, and especially not with the pressure of 2 bumbling idiots shouting over the top of your gameplay. Flaming Truck gets his second goal of the series, second goal of the game. Maybe a sign of things to come.
A little bit, yeah. Truck was the one I had my eye on as perhaps the sort of almost the guy that you don't really see in these sorts of series. That's just going to be quietly sizzling under the sort of spell of Elite Inferno, who will be doing the majority of the work. But no, he's coming out with all the challenges, all the 50s, and it's been a little bit of a silent side of things from Elite Inferno. He's just been sitting back, playing the second man rotation, and has been doing a good job at just stifling any offensive breakouts that the Aviators have had. But right now, nothing is really going the Aviators' way, although now they have a little bit of room to breathe, might find themselves on their first crew attack of this game.
2-0. 80 seconds in. Risque. Oh, taking this one slow. An interesting backflip flick there. It was actually on target. This is Champ League, right? This is Champion League, where we have mechanics like this in Champion League. Am I losing my mind, or am I just that far behind the times?
Yeah, this is, to give you a little info, since I know a little bit about Risque, is Hollow will send that one off the post, and Elite Inferno will do the same thing. Risque will finally put that one home, get the Aviators a goal back, but let me introduce you to Risque. This man is a freestyler, for lack of a better word, and he loves to talk about it. He does a great job at just doing anything he wants with the ball. Although sometimes that can come at the cost of running out of boost and not having the ability to catch up to that ball and make the touches that he needs to. But for the most part, you can sort of let him go up and do his thing, and it should find its way into the back of the net. And that's what the Aviators will be looking to do this week, as this is, I believe, his first time playing. This is the first chance we'll get to see perhaps one of the best players CL has this season on the field.
Let's see how that works out. Oh, Elite Inferno couldn't quite get a doink. Would have been lovely to see. Risque has early on proved that if Risque plus time equals very bad things, and that's kind of just proof of it. Risque doesn't even need the ball to be dangerous because absolutely deletes the defender. Inferno was fully focused on the incoming ball and didn't see the screaming offensive player coming in. Removed from the field. It's 2-2, 9 seconds before halftime.
Do you think the driver checked the rearview mirror, just saw him coming and just went, oh no, and just as he came flying into the side of his car.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's gonna be one for the car insurance. But right now, the Aviators coming back strong, 2 goals down very early on. It's very hard to come back from that, especially at this level of gameplay where it feels like teams are getting a little bit tougher to break down. But they've done a good job at opening up the Ducks so far. But it's still early doors here. It's still game 1. You can't say one team is looking a little better than the other. Here comes Risque though, up in the air, looks at a double tap, finds the angle, but it's off the post, and now Hollow can't find the angle to put that one home. A beautiful attempt, and a little unfortunate not to have that one go into the back of the net. The Ducks counting their lucky stars that they are not. 3-2 down.
Risque. Oh. Taste of his own medicine there. Elite Inferno, the second demo. No, that shot wasn't on target. Did a great job of throwing it back in the Aviators' face, but unfortunate that they weren't able to capitalize on it. Now Risque taking his sweet time, a great pass across the face of the goal, but Hollow will have to retreat now as Flaming Truck very much had control over that ball. Inferno catching this one. Couldn't quite pass it out, so Hollow, no, actually gets the ball taken away. Flaming Truck does get a second touch, but slightly awkward on that follow-up and couldn't direct it on target. Elite Inferno drops this down. Flaming Truck just kind of waiting for this one, and once again gets removed off the field. God, what did these guys ever do to you? Chill out.
I feel like it's just a lot of aggression getting put out in the first game here. That's a good shot from Flaming Truck off the crossbar and in. That's the hat trick. Great rotation in from him off of Elite Inferno, just sort of taking the ball away from Hollow there and teeing up his teammate. Sometimes making the touch that's kind of unnecessary, it is unnecessary. It is basically what it says on the tin. You don't need to make the touch. It can throw your teammate off. It can just give your opponent's possession when they don't really, well, they shouldn't really have it, but in that case it worked out to perfection, and the Ducks able to utilize just one extra touch to throw off the last defender, and well, they take a lead again here in game number 1, but can they keep a hold of this one?
Hollow out of the corner trying to make something happen, but a double commit of Ducks defenders was what was needed to get the ball out. Risque always dangerous. The flip reset uses it well to beat one defender, but Elite was wise to the ways of Risque there, and does get a decent attempt for a pass out to his teammate Risque with another reset. Musty flick there. Hollow couldn't get the follow-up touch and gets deleted off of the field once again. Oh lordy, wow, that was almost in. Didn't need to be in. Ducks still take game number 1 despite the theatrics of the Aviators players.
I can't believe he almost just scored that top corner off of a demo. He used a demo to get the right angle for the shot, almost burying that one home. You feel like if he hadn't have had a player there, that one's destined for top corner. But for now, the Ducks, that's the start you need. You, after what has basically been the most tragic of opening weeks, you need a comeback in in week number 2. You need a strong performance. This is how you start it off. Flaming Truck having a great showing on offense. 3 for 5 shooting, 7 shots in total for the Ducks. Having overall less than the Aviators, but their defense held strong when it needed to, and they were able to maintain that 1-goal cushion, which isn't really a cushion in Rocket League. It feels like a goal can slip away really as quick as a snap of the fingers, and right now the Aviators are on the back foot. How do they recover from this? Do they have to try and shake things up, or are they going to keep with the same strategy as we've seen from them all throughout this season and how we expect them to play all throughout this series?
I think it's obvious that Risque has some mechanical flash to him, and I think we may see that feature a little bit more prominently as the series goes on, should the Aviators struggle to take game after game. I want to caution that going too far to make sure that Risque doesn't, have this turning into an all Risque show. And wow, that one didn't work out, did it? Elite Inferno getting this kickoff goal right off the bat. Risque, unfortunately, simply did not make contact.
Yeah, and sometimes you play a quick kickoff, you expect a quick kickoff back, but sometimes just playing it a little slower, waiting for your opponent to have to go first and make that touch, that's all you need to do. And in the case that they don't make the touch, well, you get a free shot on there, and all you got to do is put it on target, and hopefully the defender isn't there waiting for it, and in that case, he was not. Risque, good flick up, Flaming Truck there though to make the read. We'll keep that one at bay for the moment. Risque though, just applying a little pressure with those little dodoinks, just pressuring, not creating anything too risky, pun intended.
Hey.
But that bump, that's risky, and that is beautiful. Hollow will slot that one in off the crossbar, and the Aviators are tied right back up.
Hollow just coming right in. Yeah, I mean, it's every once in a while you get goals that it's like there's not much to analyze. It's like what happened. That was about it. Ripperoni.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, 1-1. 30 seconds in. I will say something you were touching on earlier is the Ducks having that tragedy of an opening to their season. I don't know if they'll be able to claw themselves out of the hole of a negative 25 goal difference for this series, because I think the Aviators are equal enough to them that they will keep this whole series close game after game. However, I don't know. Oh, Lordy, I don't want to call it too soon, but from what I saw at the very least in Game 1, the Ducks very much look like they're capable of holding their own, and I'm glad that we were able to go into slightly more, more of a deeper dive on the stats, because anyone who just looked at the stats at face value would have been like, oh, the Ducks are dead in the water. Another pun intended. Haha. Minus 25 goal difference compared to minus 4. It's like it's not even close. But when you look at the context in which both those goal difference numbers were arrived at, you kind of get to see the bigger picture. And I think we're very much looking at the bigger picture in terms of what the Ducks are capable of here, as they're very much able to go toe-to-toe with these Aviators players.
Yeah, to bring up one of the players that was on that Hawks team that, well, quite frankly, destroyed them for the better part of 5 games. It was a man by the name of Killing Habits, now known as KH in the league, who has arguably been the best Champion League player, I want to go statistically, of all time. The games he's played at this level, he has been playing out of his mind to be able to put on performances like the ones he has. A good bump there though from the Ducks, may tee up an opportunity, but Risque so quick to that one on the backboard to get that one away, doing a great job defensively, but the rotation and a miss there from Hollow will leave them lacking, and the Ducks will find themselves back ahead with just over half a game to go.
Elite Inferno, that lovely rotation, that's something that I always have a great respect for, is jumping up and immediately flipping that car upside down to make sure that ball gets directed downwards. It's something that I have always struggled with, and I'm in Master League, so what does that tell you? Almost getting one for free. No, the Elite, the Aviators, Risque proving to be one of the elite players on the field here, tying this back up. They weren't down for too long, and we're back to 2-2, Fall, and I think this is going to be very much back and forth for the duration of this evening.
Well, yeah, we did see that last game was a 3-2 win for the Ducks, and they got to go roughly around this time to get that 3-2 lead. So, theoretically, we're about to see it right back at him. Yep, there we go, called it. All right, I'll take my check in the mail. Thank you for the script today, boys. Wow, that couldn't have been better timing. Even for me, that's pretty good. That's a banger of a goal though from Flaming Truck to put that one home.
Amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
Take a breath, catch your confidence, I know. It's rare to be in the aura of someone with the biggest ego and the biggest brain in MLE, but here we are.
Here we are indeed. I'll let you dig your own grave on that one. 3-2 for the Ducks, 2 minutes left. Hanging on to yet another narrow one-goal lead. It's about to be 2. What a tidy little flick from Inferno.
That was a beautiful one. Catches, takes one more touch, somehow avoids that demo, and then catches that one so clean. Top corner. Okay, maybe it's not just Risque who's got the mechanics here. Elite Inferno is having an absolute blinder of a game number 2, and the Ducks, well, I want to say arguably the better team right now. Just on a whole basis, they are playing more like a team and playing like a better team than the Aviators are, and it is showing in the series score and in this game score.
Elite Inferno coming in will get this one for free. And it's just time and time again, the Aviators look to build something, and for one reason or another, it falls apart, and then the Ducks just take the ball and sprint towards the other side of the field and punish them. Just time and time again. The Elite, I think, honestly, they are. I said it again. I'm so sorry because Elite Inferno. It's messing with my mind.
Yeah.
The Aviators, pardon me. The Aviators, I think, need to do a better job of going back to basics because to me, it looks like they may be overcomplicating the attacking plays a little bit, and they don't quite have the consistency to pull it off, which actually reminds me a little bit of the Hawks' performance from the earlier series tonight. The Aviators need to simplify things a little bit, go back to the fundamentals of Rocket League, get that stuff sorted out, get a game win under their belts, and then hopefully build the confidence to go for the more flashy stuff.
Yeah, they're going to need a game, especially against divisional rivals. The Aviators didn't look too bad against the Hive, but Elite Inferno is making them look like rookies right now with that bronze goal explosion. How many times have we seen that this game? I can tell you, 5. 5 times has buried that ball and has done it convincingly every single time. And that one may arguably be his best. A dribble, a flick. Can't ask for more. 5
goals from 7 shots. Need I say more? From a console player, no less. JK, I'm not throwing shit at console players. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you never do.
Wow. Elite Inferno, an absolute all-star game right now. And I think, honestly, Fallen, the more concerning thing is that the Aviators don't have an answer for it. Yes, you could probably argue that maybe they realized that Game 2 was done and dusted a while ago and are probably just looking for the future. But 5 goals from 7 shots, regardless of the mentality situation for the Aviators, it's not going to make you feel too good.
Oh god, no, it's an awful situation to find yourself in. To find yourself at a position where you feel like the series is getting away from you very quickly here. They're now on match point, are the Ducks. They are prepared to take this one in 3. A series that they, well, desperately need to win. But you mentioned how you thought this one was going to be close, but Elite Inferno says, I feel like we could get this one back, you know? I think we could pull back 25, but maybe 10. We'll get 10. We'll go for 10. Right now, they have +5 from this game, so they're down to -20. So, a positive, but also they're up to 4 and 8 now record-wise, which is, they're starting to break out at the bottom 2. They're looking like they're going to make it out the bottom 2 at this rate.
It's healthy, and this is, I mean, if Ducks, I'm interested to know what, and Aviators fans, I'm not calling it early, so take a deep breath.
No, we're not.
I'm not calling it early, but
could go.
It could go either way. So in fairness, we'll talk about what, in a second, we'll talk about what the Aviators could do in a similar situation. What grand fortunes await the Ducks if they happen to sweep this series? Just how far up the table would they be able to climb, both in the division and the overall conference?
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm sorry. Repeat your question.
It is all good. It is all good. Yeah, game four getting started. I'm interesting.
Game three.
Game three. So
game
sorry.
Three.
Game
We're
three.
having a moment.
We are having a moment. It wouldn't be MLE if we weren't constantly having a moment, and here we are having a moment.
Could you remind me your question, dear sir, so I can go through and check the metabase.
I want to know. Wow, Risque, very close. I want to know what awaits both of these teams if the best case scenario from this point on happens. So, AKA, if the Aviators pull this back for a 3-2, or if the Ducks move on to sweep this 5-0. Wow, what a shot from Hollow.
Yeah, off of the pass from Risque there. Good job from Hollow to read that one perfectly. But he calls it a steal. It is technically on target at that point, so yeah, it is a steal in that sense. If the Aviators are to take 3, they go 5-10, which will put them, as of right now, I believe, disregarding a good result for either the Blizzard or the Eclipse in their third match this week, are 12th in the division, which is not good by any stretch of the imagination. For the Ducks, it's a lot better. It's a lot more positive right now. If they take another 3 games, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing 7 out of 8 after what could have been perhaps the worst opening weekend imaginable. That puts them mid-table. That puts them tied with the Hive, which is an incredible turnaround considering the Hive got a 5-0. Oh, Elite Inferno! Oh boy! That is a double tap.
That is a double tap for the ages in Champ League. If you have a player who is doing this, it looks like he's doing it with his eyes closed. Like he's just holding that air roll button. He's like, yep, I got this. The Aviators have got to be shaking in their boots right now, because if you have a player on the other team who has confidence flowing through their veins as much as Elite Inferno does right now, it only means bad things. Things for the Aviators need to change ASAP.
Yeah, it feels like just something is not clicking. It's either through the rotation or through the defensive touches. They're just not able to deal with any offensive pressure that is thrown their way by the Ducks. Good pass back there from Risque, though. We'll try and tee something up for Hollow. Hollow puts that one in front of the box. Risque sort of just waits, tries to bait out a challenge, but a good one from Flaming Cook over the top. Puts it deep into the Aviators half and actually baits out Hollow there a little bit to go for that one. This is an opportunity. Can he find the touch? He can! What a save from Risque on the goal line, and just keep that one out at the death and stop this from being another Ducks lead in this series.
That was the save that needed to happen for the Aviators. They will get this one to take a much needed lead in game number 3. I'm curious to see if they can hang on to this one. This scoring, or the frequency with which we have seen the Ducks scoring, specifically Elite Inferno, my money is on this lead not lasting for too much longer.
Yeah, but you also have to put money on the fact that the Aviators have looked like a changed team here in game number 3. They are offensively doing less risky and less offensive. Wow, okay, never mind. I guess it's just the Ducks doing it now, who are going for fancy solo plays. Flaming Cook actually got the boost there, I believe, from underneath Hollow, and then gets it all the way over the top of Risque to make it 2-2. You know what, I'm going to believe in you for once. I'm going to trust in your opinion. You call the next thing, and I will go wholeheartedly with you into the breach. What's the next play that's going to happen here?
Triple flip reset double tap, probably from Risque.
Probably.
That's my money.
Theoretically, could come from Elite.
Okay, or maybe just like a corkscrew aerial by Hollow.
That works.
I love this game so much. It just it never ceases to, like, that was the most mundane ball just kind of bouncing in midfield, and Hollow was just like, I think I know exactly what I can do with this, and worked it to perfection. So now 3-2 to the Aviators. Honestly, they just need to score. They need to score more and more and more. It doesn't even matter if it's a 1-goal lead or Hollow making it a 2-goal lead. The more goals they score, the more confidence they're going to get.
how often would you believe me? Like, how would you believe me if I said that Hollow has scored every single goal so far for the Aviators in this game? Because it doesn't feel like that he would be the names that we would be bringing up. I mean, I personally thought Risque was going to have the series of his life in his first one, but no, it's just Hollow. Oh, Flaming Truck. Okay, he doesn't get the second fake. That would have been too much. What about second fakes? No, it doesn't find its way through. And right now, the Ducks are on the back foot. For the first time in this series, they don't have control. They don't have a one goal lead to chase or a 1-goal cushion. And this is rarefied air, ladies and gentlemen. That demo is a bit rarefied from the Ducks, going in a little physical, maybe trying to throw off the Aviators ever so slightly. But they need to find something now, do the Ducks, to keep themselves, well, really in this one.
Flaming Truck. Nice self-setup pass there. Hollow. An excellent pop off that back wall. Those are not the easiest things to time. Did it very well. Elite Inferno turning on this ball from Risque. Gets a demo, opening up the shooting angle for Hollow, but couldn't quite pinch it correctly against the ground in his defense. Those are very difficult ones to get. Flaming Truck couldn't quite pop it past the Aviators player. Looking for another demo on Risque, but misses contact. Risque over to the side of Hollow. Well handled, and a good time killer, if nothing else. Risque into the corner where Hollow is waiting. Great pop. Not quite over the top of Elite Inferno, but does set it up for a pass to Hollow. Flaming Truck catches this quite well off that back wall, looking for a clearance. Elite Inferno waiting very patiently to see kind of what happens. Risque should collect this by himself, but no. Flaming Truck, an interesting push on this one. Didn't get contact, but at least made the Aviators sweat a little bit. Final 25 seconds here. Aviators are getting closer and closer to their first game win.
Yeah, and it's looking increasingly more confident from them. They're not maybe trusting each other wholeheartedly on defense, but defensively they're making better reads, they're making better touches. The Ducks almost seem to be overplaying a little bit here in the latter stages of this game, and it's really cost them here against the Aviators, who have really been doing a great job at just reading them better. And now we look to game 4, and this series is still alive. The Aviators take game 3.
Okay.
We're back in it.
We are back in it. We've got a fine competition on our hands. I'm a lot happier now. It's never fun. It's never fun as a commentary team, and it's definitely never fun as a viewer to watch an absolute blowout. And I'm glad that at the very least we're not going to have that, because this wasn't necessarily like a tooth and nail fight between Aviators and Ducks in Game 3. Aviators looked, I would say, the more confident team in this game, and I hope that they can continue that through Game 4. But only time will tell, and that's like one of the most cliche things ever. But it's very true. Like, I don't... If we went based on what we saw in Games 1 and 2, you'd probably assume that Ducks had Game 3 in the bag every single day of the week and twice on Sundays. And that very much didn't happen. So I'm all for broken expectations.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ducks now go back up to a -22 goal difference. They're looking to try and get some more in, hopefully, throughout the rest of this series. But for the Aviators now, they've got that momentum on their side. They've got that little bit of vibe to them. They've got that little bit of control. You said all they need sometimes is just one game, and you can start flowing a little more on offense. We saw Hollow pick it up in game number 3. Are we about to see Risque pop off? Is this the time where we're going to see something crazy go up for Player of the Week? Well, here we go. Game number 4. The Ducks on the defensive very early on, and the Aviators pushing for the first goal. Almost get it immediately.
Wow, Aviators are right off the bat in the faces of the Ducks, which I'd love to see. Let's see if they can get an early goal for it. Hollow, very low boost, but will commit to it. As this ball bounces all the way back, Elite Inferno taking his time, not quite over the top of Risque, who will take it for himself. Burning plenty of boost, but just so happens to land on the full boost, so doesn't even need to worry about picking it up as he rotates through defense. Decent save. Needed to happen, but felt relatively comfortable for somebody of the quality of Risque. Elite Inferno getting a decent 50. This one is still... Oh, Risque in the favor of will get the opening goal. 0 boost, but definitely got there in time.
just taps this one over Flaming Truck, just gets the touch he needs to tap it, not off the side wall, but to just keep it away from the wall, enough so where Flaming Truck, who just drives through, can't make contact even with the Fennec hitbox, that Octane hitbox. It's not tall enough to make the touch. You'd need a Merc maybe to hit the touch like that, but for the case of the Ducks, well, instant reply was necessary. They will get it. Elite Inferno will slot this one home. It's tied game.
Elite Inferno, a lovely shot, and it's one of those partial air roll shots too, where he got the air roll but also had to wait and delay the flick slightly to make sure that it was definitely going to go on target, because something you always need to compensate for is the fact that your flip takes a split second to get to the ball, and it is so easy to mistime that and quickly have the ball flying way wide left if you hit it too early, or way wide right if you wait too late. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Simply. 90 seconds gone, and again, it's all tied up. I cannot wait to see how the course of the rest of the series is going to look like.
I think the question comes down to who gets the next goal, because that's where the momentum comes from. It's whoever gets the next one. Risque looks at the double tap, come put it home. This one is floating. That's on target. Forced to save out of Flaming Truck. It's not a great save. There's no one going up. No boost in the tank for either player. And that, well, the Aviators have the momentum now. Are they going to be able to keep it? That one will find its way home. 2-1.
Another one of those super awkward shots, but if you go for it, there's a high chance of it working out, and it sure worked out. Ducks stuck on their goal line, couldn't get up to the ball in time.
Yeah, and I mean, that is exactly what the Aviators want to see. Here comes Risque. Finally looks for something, can't find it. Hollow waiting for the touch. Will look for a double of his own, can't find it. And Flaming now with the breakaway. Can he get there quick enough? He's looking to put it far post. He will. Blocks off the challenging defender, and immediately right back in control of the Ducks. They get this tied game. Love the play from Flaming Truck though. Puts it as far corner as he can and just blocks the defender. Just sort of shields him off.
I was panicking a little bit because I was like, oh my god, that is so far over. Is that missing? Like, I saw the play. I saw the idea he was going for. But man, I mean, clearly he had a better view than I did. But quite close. Quite close. 2-2. Stop me if you've heard this one before, Fallen. It's tied up between the Ducks and the Aviators. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, and both teams coming into this, again, to reiterate, 2-8. You wouldn't think it watching this series. You wouldn't say these two are the worst two teams of the Blue Conference for Champion League, but here's the situation we're in. That is a beautiful goal from Flaming Truck, and we're all of a sudden back into a Ducks series, as they now have their first lead since, I think, Game 2? Did they lead at any point in Game 3?
I don't remember because I have caster brain. I'm only capable of remembering what instantly happens right in front of my face. What I'm confident in is that this one goal lead will last probably all of 10 seconds because that's just how this game has gone. No, we're already gone. We're already gone. Okay. We've already proven that I'm bad at my job. We don't have to dig the grave even deeper. Wow, Hollow. Very dangerous shot there. Risque, using all of his boost, did effectively beat one Duck, but couldn't get the second one. One Duck versus one Aviator. You didn't like that?
I don't know why, but just like one Duck just sounded really good to my brain there. I don't know what it was.
It just gave
me the warm fuzzy. Yeah, it just gave me the warm fuzzies, and it really threw me off. Right now, though, the Aviators looking to try and control possession the way they did in Game 3. The problem is, when they were doing this in Game 3, they were already 2 goals up. Now they're a goal behind. They need to do more than just control the ball. They need to score the ball, and they need to put it in the back of the net. And they're not going to be able to do that if they sit in their own half and sit in the midfield the entire time, especially when the Ducks are powering forward like this, but a good demo will basically cancel that out and nullify any threat that the Ducks had.
Great flick by Risque, setting up a passing opportunity, but Flaming Truck sees this very well clear. Nice 50 as well, leaving Elite Inferno to go work his magic on this one, but no, couldn't get to the ball in time. Risque taking over, good pass. Will Hollow get there in time? He will, but not quite in time enough, if that phrase makes any sense, to beat to beat the Duck defender. Flaming Truck. Awkward bounce here, looking for the bump, and gets it. Will turn on it, but no, a premature flip will betray him here. Risque has 40 seconds to make this one work. Is sure capable of it. Looking for that solo dribble. Didn't quite work out. Hollow, a great catch in Flaming Truck. We'll see this one clear a second time, and we can breathe a momentary sigh of relief as the Aviators look to get one more attack going out. What a pass! What a shot between these Aviators players. 3-3.
You saw it coming from a mile off from Risque's POV. Perfectly placed was Hollow up the field waiting for the pass. All they needed to do was find the connection. They did so perfectly, and just like that, we're tied up. 20 seconds. Are we destined for a Game 4 OT? I'd absolutely love that. I feel like this series absolutely needs an overtime, with every player going absolutely crazy. We're not going to get it at this rate, though. The Ducks have their goal that they need to take the series.
10 seconds left. Aviators are going to feel that like a dagger to the heart. But if any team was capable of scoring a rapid-fire goal, I mean, we've seen multiple Duck leads erased after only 10 seconds, so they just need a decent kickoff. That one is lost, but technically in the way or in favor of the Aviators. Still plenty of boost by Risque, but can't get to the ball in time. Sent long. Hollow needs to work as hard as he ever has to keep this one up in the air. That one is slightly too high into the corner. The Ducks will take this one. Wow, they had to work hard.
That feels like it's Game 1 vibes all over again there. One goal separates them. And again, it's Flaming Truck with a hat-trick to do it. What a performance from every single player on the field to get that one. That felt like the most even game of Rocket League we've seen in Champion League in quite some time. Everyone had the ability to impress, to improve, to do something with the ball that we hadn't seen before in Champion League. And it's just a momentary lapse in a defense at the end of the game. 10 seconds on the clock. You're trying to wait it out for overtime, but the Ducks, they're just able to get the job done. They're able to put it in when they need to. And Flaming Crook, the savior, perhaps, of this series, will wrap it up in 4.
3 goals from 4 shots. Dear Lord. Definitely the threat. I would say maybe not quite as big of a threat as we saw from Inferno in game number 2, but a threat in his own right. Aviators, I will say, did a half-decent job of dealing with the threat of the Ducks overall, but they only got 1 save to their credit. I believe we saw 4 saves from the Ducks, which
2 apiece.
2 apiece, which I'm sorry, not technically, but typically signifies a team that is stuck in their own half that can't break out, and so they're having to make save after save after save. Clearly, they had no issues breaking out of their own half because they put the hurt on the Aviators, and now mathematically with the series taken, they know that they're definitely, in the driver's seat overall, especially with this opening goal. The quickest pass you've ever seen. 7 seconds is all it took for the Ducks to get on the board.
He had no boost. Flaming Cook had no boost for that whatsoever, and still somehow gets a powerful flick off of the backboard in front of the net. Enlist Inferno. We're just going with different names for him now at this point. Will somehow read that perfectly with a little less power, slot it home, but we'll slot it home nonetheless. And the Aviators, well, you feel like the momentum and any bit of motivation just gone now. Now it's just, let's clip on them and that's all we're going to get out of this. Because you wanted the series win. You were desperate for the series win. Risque will actually do that there. Good catch. Doing a great job of bullying the defender. I believe it was Flaming Truck, just into making a touch, but it wasn't a strong enough one, and will score. But the Aviators, they needed a series win here to kickstart their season back the right way. It would have been 5-10 in their series record if they'd have won 3-2. But in the case of this now, they find themselves, it's almost dire straits for them already, and we're only in week 2.
Well, you know what I'm glad about, Fallen, is based on what we've seen throughout this series, is that we are definitely going to overtime in this one, because there's no way either of these teams are going to score another goal. No way. It's just, it's simply impossible.
I love the sarcasm. Have you learned that from someone?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the dry wit, I understand. But right now, I think the Aviators are destined to find the net at some point with something fancy in this game. But it will be the Ducks who will look to try and score first. Flaming Truck almost doing it again with that exact same play. Just trying to outpace that first defender and then just getting an accidental, it feels, second touch just to get it over the second one. He doesn't necessarily do anything special, but he does enough. And I feel like that's been the mentality for the Ducks all throughout this series and the reason that they are currently 3-1 up in the series.
Oh,
to make it
wow, what a demo! I didn't even see that on the replay camera. It's just like, okay, shots coming in, and then all of a sudden somebody exploded. It was risque. Hollow was still on the goal line, but just at a dead stop, so there was no hope of him getting to that ball in time. Ducks taking a relatively early one-goal lead, and I'll take back what I said. They're definitely going to score probably a couple more times. I would love to see a Game 5 overtime, but just more goals. That's all I ask.
What I love about this is the fact that not only did Elite Inferno get that demo, but he also had to get a 50 on Hollow to get that ball into the center. And when he did so, he bullied Hollow onto the goal line into a dead stop, so he couldn't make the save. He did double duty and taken out both players, and now will just do it all himself and send that one careening into the back of the net. 115 kilometers per hour, the correct unit of measurement, and just like that, Ducks 3-1, looking comfortable. Series wrapped up and looking for 4.
Yeah, it's hard to play. I mean, simply, it's hard to play against a team that's got this much confidence. And we saw early signs from both Risque and Hollow that they had some mechanical brilliance that I thought was definitely going to be a factor in the series. Wow, what a save there from the Ducks players. They're refusing to be scored on. And I gotta say, Fawn, I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen it working at the very least as much as I thought it would, especially in Champ League, where yes, Champ League, you're definitely starting to develop your mechanics at that level, but to find someone, especially for Risque, to find someone who's as consistent at this kind of stuff as Risque, or someone who's as consistent as Elite Inferno, is definitely a sight to behold. It's not quite working as frequently for the Aviators as it is for the Ducks. 4-1 to the boys in yellow.
This is the difference maker. The Ducks have had, in their away colours, man, this isn't even their home colours. The Aviators were meant to have home, but it clashed too much with the away, so they get alternate. They had that wonderful, I'm not even sure what the secondary colour is, I just know that it's greyish black. But in the case of the Ducks, they have that mechanical player in Elite Inferno, and then they have the ground mechanics and the rotation of Flaming Truck. You have the perfect combination. Flaming Truck's going to score that. No, he isn't off the post. Oh, I thought he had a double tap to prove. No, he has mechanics too. My bad for not calling that out. But yeah, no, it feels like the Ducks have just had more cohesion. They have had more team chemistry than the Aviators. Aviators have had individual skill, sure, but where have the passing plays been? Apart from that one that we saw in Game 4 that almost kept their series alive, where have the passing plays been? Where has been that link-up into teeing up the goals? Instead, it's just been assist after assist after assist for every player on the Ducks. So Flaming Truck will get another one there. I believe that's his 3rd of the game already. No, 4th. 4th assist on Elite Inferno's 4th goal.
It's non-stop.
It's non-stop.
It's non-stop. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think this is a very, very good example of why as you said, team cohesion will very often beat out individual skill, because individual skill is all well and good in ones when you only have a single player to beat. What a pump attempt. That was very close.
Yeah.
But in 2s and 3s, typically, unless you are some next level god, a flick is only going to beat one player. If the second player is positioned properly and has enough of enough game sense to see what's happening, they're going to position in a way that's going to give them a very easy tap right back in the other direction once their teammate gets beaten. And I think the Ducks just have this understanding of where each other are going to be positioned at any stage of the game that I think we're just seeing the Aviators are lacking a little bit here. And it's still early days. We're in week 2, and this is not to say that this is some like harbinger of doom for the Aviators, but it's definitely something to work on. And I think if they need a good example of what good cohesion looks like, I think the Aviators need to look no further than this match against the Ducks.
Yeah, I mean, look across the board there. I don't know if you got to catch that at the end. Every single goal by the Ducks in that game specifically was 100% team participation. The 4 goals from Elite, all assisted by Flaming Cloak. Flaming Cloak's 1, assisted by Elite Inferno. The saves, they had 5 on the Aviators' 7 shots. Only 1 managed to make its way through, and the other one hit the post and bounced out. That shows you, all around the field, these 2 players were completely in sync the entire time in this game. And that level of cohesion, it's very rare to see this early on in a season, and it only bodes well. If this is a lineup we're going to see more often, I can see a lot more series going in the favor of the Ducks, and that minus 25 goal difference could easily flip the other way around. And it could end up being a very positive one by the end of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure Fallen would love to waffle on, but we've only got about 5 minutes until our next kickoff is supposed to begin. So I will just tell you that we have been increasing in skill level all night, and it's only going to keep getting better. We've got a new casting team for you on the other side of this break. We've got Master League action. It's getting faster and faster and faster. You are not going to want to miss this one, so please stick around. We'll be right back.